Hi, welcome to Sammy's Cottage Kitchen. I'm happy to say that today is an exciting day here in Langenburg. It's the Saskatchewan Students Leadership Conference. Wow, I had to think about that. My sister's the teacher, I'm not. Anyway, there's about 800 and some kids that have arrived in our town, and I think we've only got about 1,400 people here. So it shows our amazing community spirit. What I'm getting at is, of course, I get commandeered to do things, and because people know I cook, wouldn't you know it, there's a get-together for all the leaders of the leadership conference, and they need appetizers. So today, I'm going to show us all how to work with phyllo pastry. And I've got my Mediterranean colors on because phyllo pastry really is from Greece. I'm going to first, I've already been at it because I got to make an awful lot of appetizers. So I'm going to just show you a few of the finished ones that I've got to just put some cheese and brush to put in the oven, because I've really got to make quite a few of them. So I'm going to turn the oven on. I'm going to turn it to 375. You need it to be 375 or 400 for sure. The first thing I'm going to do is just put a little lemon juice on the salmon pieces, because I'm going to make a couple different things. I'm going to make, of course, the traditional spanakopita's. And sooner than cooking up the spinach and chopping up the onions and showing you all that stuff, which you've seen me do umpteen amount of times, I'm going to just show how we work with phyllo pastry. It's quite tricky, but it's worth it. So I'm going to put a little lemon juice on the fish. I chopped up these chunks of salmon. I'm going to do more spanakopita's than I am doing salmon. But there's always somebody who likes a little fish. So you put that on there. I absorbed all the juices in the paper towel because you don't want them to be too juicy. I also got some dill from my garden yesterday before the frost. And I'm just going to put tear up a little bit of dill to put in with that, because it's going to need a little bit of seasoning. Also a little salt and pepper. Everything else will come later. Here's the salt. Yes, it's quite an excitement going on in town. Last night I had to go with my sister Jan, who used to be Mrs. Lay, the teacher there. And everybody in town have become sponsors, so there's up to 10 people in people's homes for somewhere for them to be. That's pretty cool. New one for me, because we don't have children or grandchildren in school here. So I really didn't even know what it was about. But apparently, it's a meeting of minds. It's like our future leaders of the country. And all Saskatchewan happens once a year in some rural place. And Saskatchewan, Langenburg was chosen this year. It was pretty awesome. So I've got the salmon with the lemon. I've covered it up. And the dill. Covered it up, and I'm going to put it into the fridge, because you shouldn't leave fish sitting out until I'm ready for it. I should have Mediterranean music playing, but no, I got country music playing. That's okay. Now, when nobody was looking, I already cooked up the spinach, and I have to just squish out some of the juices. I'm going to put a little bit of dill in there, it won't hurt it. And I'm going to squish out the juices. You're going to get all your stuff that you're putting inside the phyllo pastry ready before you do the phyllo pastry, because you got to work fast with it. That's why I already started while you were all sleeping. Okay, maybe not quite that early. So you just really try and dump out. See, there's a lot of juice comes out of that. But you have to cook it up thoroughly. And then you do the seasoning. Now into this mixture, we're going to be putting this other mixture that I made. Again, what don't we make with garlic and onions? Well, garlic, onions, and butter. So I'm going to need a little fork here. I'm glad this kitchen's small. I keep saying that. because everything's kind of within my reach, and that's nice. So I'm going to use about 2/3 of the onion mixture in with the spinach mixture. It's nice and buttery, which is important too. Mix this all together, because I need this to put in with the little salmon chunks. Like I said, I won't have time to show you making it separately, but it's just sauteing it up with a little oil and a touch of butter and a little bit of lemon juice. It's as simple as that. I'm going to remove some of my dirty dishes right away. It's important to keep my space clear, especially with working with the phyllo pastry. Now, what goes in here also is some feta cheese. You can use different cheeses if you want, but feta cheese is the traditional. So I'm going to just mix this up in there thoroughly. I'm going to add some pepper, always a little bit of pepper. I'll take the big guns out later. More pepper, it's a bigger one. I've got 3 different sized pepper mills. Not exactly sure why. I guess it's for the pizzazz. I had the good fortune of going to Greece, and I ate the best spanakopittas and squid. They know how to make squid every which way there. I was in Crete, actually, for 11 days. In fact, the ring I'm wearing is where we renewed our vows in Crete. We got married as broke musicians, and well, our tiny little bands, Jack's band broke, so we found new rings. They're called the Path of Life. Very cool. Okay, a little bit of feta cheese. I have some crumbled feta cheese here. I'll put that in. And I have also got, in case I need more, another feta cheese, which is the nicest one. It's in a brine. And I'll show you that. So what I guess I'm saying is you can go different ways with whatever way you want to put the cheese. And this is one way. And also put cream cheese in. You see, here's the feta cheese in brine. That's a nice brick, and it's just in a brine, but it's not as salty. So if you're watching your salt, you gotta, that would be a good idea to know about that. I'm looking where I hid my cutting board, and I do believe I put it in the pantry, so I have to go get that for a minute. In the closet. One of my trusty boards, anyway. This is a cutting board too, but it's much simpler to do the cleanup on a separate board. Okay, that oven will be to heat and it'll be ready before me, that's for sure. Oh, how about that for timing? That's okay, it'll wait for me. All I have to do is mix up an egg mixture. I just want to put a little bit more cheese into there because I think it needs it. I also put a touch of nutmeg in it. That's a common herb that people don't always like, so I use it very sparingly. That's all I need in there. I'll just cover this up and put it to the side till I have a chance to put it in the fridge. And meanwhile, I'm going to take an egg and just I'm going to wipe this up a little bit, and I'm just going to cover it with a towel until I'm ready for it, because the seasonings all have to kind of mix in there. Oh, forgot nutmeg. When I say nutmeg, I say small amounts, I mean a pinch. See this? It's a pinch. And that's all you need. If you do more than that, you're going to end up with a very nutmeggy dish and not too appetizing. Okay. Now there's one more thing you have to put in here, and it's an egg. Otherwise it just won't hold together. Just mix it up. Put that in there. This will give it a chance to bind together when I'm doing other things. I'm going to have to get another egg out of the fridge because I need to make an egg wash that goes on top of the phyllo pastries that I've got going already. I got to get them going because the party is tonight and I have to be ready. So what better way than to show you all how to make them and be able to serve a whole bunch of people. On that note, I'd like to tell people they can contact me if they would like me to do a party for them. In-house party, office parties. I am available. I am a caterer. I did that for 11 years in Okotoks, Alberta. And then I moved to Langenburg here. And I kind of stepped out of it for a while, but the love for cooking never disappeared. So I'm there. If you need me, yeah, let me know. Okay, putting this to the side. I'm going to need another egg. I'm just going to go to the fridge. I had something to put in there too. Oh yeah, the feta cheese. Put that back in the fridge. And I'm going to grab another egg because I have to make the egg wash, which is an egg with some coffee milk. Good farm egg, of course. No, I don't grow chickens. Already did that. Been there, done that. That was good too. But I'm not doing it again. I have a wonderful little whisk here that I use for these smaller jobs. And so you put about 3 tablespoons, I think, of creamer in with 1 egg. And yes, you can use the whole egg. Sometimes I just use the egg yolk, but in this case you can use the whole egg. It's a little better glue. Just the egg yolk isn't enough glue. It's rich and it's nice, but it won't hold the grated cheese that I want to put on it. You're probably all wondering, when is she going to show us how to do this? Well, I have to first get some going. So I need a pastry brush that's in here. And I have some grated cheese. And I'm going to have to grate more. It's Parmesan, fresh Parmesan. You can use Romano as well. They don't take that long to cook, only about 20 minutes. So you can definitely put the cheese on right away without worrying about it burning. You need an Armstrong to do this. I'll just start with that. That'll be enough for this dish. So I have got these ready to go here, but I'm just going to work with them right here because it's good light. And all you do is you just baste, not too much, but just so that you're getting some glue, so to speak, on there. Because it looks so much prettier. You don't have to. But it's just the way I like to do it. I guess it's a little non-traditional when I think about it, because when I've had them when I was in Crete, I don't believe they made them that way. Well, I like messing with the food. And I think everybody knows that by now. Give it in my own touch. Again, like people were asking me, okay, what's your style of cooking? I said, everything, a little bit of international, country cooking with a flair. And you can all do it. So now you just sprinkle a little bit of this grated parm on top. And these are going to puff right up and be just delicious. And you know what? You can serve them hot or cold. I'm also going to be making a tzatziki sauce, dip, so to speak. That is quite popular. That's got the lemon in it and the cucumber, and traditionally plain yogurt. I put a little bit of sour cream with it because it's a little more rich, and dill. It's delicious. Okay, these are ready to go in. And I'll put the timer on because I'm going to be busy and I don't trust that I'll remember what I'm doing. Timer, 20, start. Okay, so I might as well grate a little more cheese while I'm standing here because it's a bit of a job, but that's all right. A lot of people watch programs on TV, cooking programs, and they see, you know, a lot of the cooks nowadays are going to the countries of the origin, and then they cook there in that country. And I was watching, I think, Jamie Oliver one day, and I thought, oh, that'd be so fun to be all over the world cooking. And then I thought, hey, instead I'm taking all of you to all those worlds with this food. Don't have to go anywhere. So you can do that too. Just say, okay, well, it's really cold out, let's have Hawaiian. Or, let's do Mediterranean today. And don't kid yourself, it gets pretty cold there in the Mediterranean too. Okay, that's ready for the next batch. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we work. I'm going to cover up my egg mixture because I'm going to need it. As you can see, I got quite a station going on here because I just need a lot of stuff. This can disappear. I don't know what that accent was. Wasn't Greek. It's always good to clean the board right away in case I need it. And to clean my workspace. We truly enjoyed our time when we were over there in Crete. Like I said, and I enjoyed so many spanakopita. But the interesting thing too is that what I'm wearing actually is blue and white. Like I got blue and white, these colors. And that is what you see everywhere. And the water looks like that, the buildings look like that, the chapels, it doesn't matter where you look. It's very cool. All right, time for the spanakopita preparation. Here's the phyllo pastry. You can buy it in anywhere. You can't really make this. I guess you can, but well, it's not worth the labor. I wouldn't advise it, put it that way. Unless you really are bored. Another day. Okay, so you might see that I got towels laying there. What you need, very important, is to have damp towels. Clean, damp cloths. Not soaking, just damp. Because this pastry just dries out immediately, so you have to work fast with it. No, it's not bad. I'm going to put that on the bottom here. And I'm going to lay the phyllo pastry out like this. And then you're going to have to dampen another cloth. And then I'm going to melt butter because you have to do 3 layers, and you have to put butter in each layer. Okay, so it's just wet enough. It's not soaking, it's just wet enough. Okay, so that will keep nicely while I'm getting the butter melted up and ready to go. And you need a fair amount of butter. Some butter, I'm going to put it in the microwave. I see my greasy fingers have been all over the microwave. I don't know, I think take about 40 seconds, start. And I'm going to just wipe that down a bit. I have a little bit of a problem when things are that dirty. Wait a minute. And you don't even see it until some kind of light is reflecting on it properly. There, isn't that better? That was something to do while I was waiting for the butter. So I'm going to need an extra brush, and that's going to be for the butter. To the side of it, just nicely belted. Into the sea. So I got to both headlights. Oh, 4 times, maybe next time you'll think before he. Oh, don't mind me, I sing along always when I'm cooking. Okay, so now I've got the butter. I need to have my station set up properly, right? So I got to get a little closer in there because we need to be able to grab this. Okay. So now I'm going to take one piece at a time. I thought I folded it all out, but I didn't. You have to handle it quite gently. And I'm just going to work directly on my island. It's perfect. Now, I just did exactly what I told you not to do. So every time you take a sheet, you have to cover it up. Maybe next time, think for each sheet. Now you can make all kinds of shapes. The spanakopita's are the ones that are kind of folded into little envelopes and wedges. So this is like a glue that you're putting on here, but it's also just a really dry dough. So unless you do something that's buttery like that, well, it'll just turn out hard. So you have to use butter. Don't cheap out and use margarine. It won't taste nice. Okay, then you lay that right on there, and again, diligently cover up your phyllo pastry. Took a Louisville slugger to both headlights. Now you're only going to butter the 2 sheets because a 3rd sheet's going to come on here, and then I'm going to be cutting and putting the topping, the filling in right away. I knew what I was saying. Topping is later. I love playing music in between while I'm doing all this. Oh, see, I was a little crooked, but they're not all exactly perfect either, or even. And you can move it around. It isn't that difficult, and it doesn't tear as easy as you might think, being that thin. I did see a program that was in Morocco or somewhere that they were making this a little bit different, but almost the same. And you need a sharp knife because now you got to cut it. So I want to cut it in half. Like this, so I just got to see where I'm cutting it. There's a reason for this. Again, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but it's nice to have. So you cut it in half first, then you cut it in 4. Ish. I got to check. Oh yeah, it's looking great. Now I can turn it down. 325. So you had it going for about 10 minutes on 375, and now 325 for about 10 minutes, and they're going to be golden. So you see, I'm working with this. So I've got another damp cloth here that I'm just going to put over the ones that I'm not working with right now. It's a tedious job, so you got to really love it. And I hope they really appreciate it tonight because it's a bit of work. So I'm going to just take a little pinch of this, and you put it on the end. Your filling. It's very tasty filling. Now you're going to take the butter on the edges here. On both edges, because it's going to have to cling to each other. I can smell them cooking in there. So now, you take that end, you start like that, you envelope it over. You envelope it over again. You just keep enveloping it until you get to the end of it. See, I'm a little crooked, so I'll just straighten it out. I'm showing that on purpose so that you don't think, oh gosh, I can't get it perfect. Now you see this little edge here, all right? Just dop it on like that. Okay. So I've got some going here already because I had too much for the other pan. So I'm just adding to that. So now I'm just going to pre-do this and just get all the edges done with the butter because I want to work faster, because like I said, you should work a little faster with phyllo pastry, and I got quite a few to do. So I'm just going to listen to the music and I'm going to concentrate on what I'm doing here for a minute and just keep folding them into envelopes like that. Keep the envelope shape as best you can. Was a call, but we were bigger when you were cracking jokes. Oh, it's looking nice. Yeah, needs another 5 minutes for that first pan. So I want to get this pan ready in order to get it in there. Now, if you wanted to be adventurous, you can cover it with, you could probably coat it with different kind of cheeses, maybe some herbs, but I find the herbs might burn, so no, I wouldn't suggest that. See, this is, I got kind of a big end going on here, so I'm just going to cut the edge off because I was a little hasty when I was cutting the 4 pieces and the 1 piece is bigger. So again, I'm just going to put a little bit of butter on here. I'm just going to keep on going till I get the next pan in the oven. And I'll get the next phyllo pastry going again to refresh you on how you actually do. And then I'll get some things ready to do the little salmon phyllos. Again, just fingers, hands. It's a very, same thing when you're making pierogies. Every country has something. I guess this is the Mediterranean style dumpling, the Greek style dumpling, because you know you have in Ukrainian culture the pierogi, right? You've got all kinds of different dumplings. I was in Czechia when it was after it was Czechoslovakia, and man, they serve you these great big puffy dumplings with absolutely everything. That's just the way it is. There. Okay, so keep folding. Keep folding the envelopes. So this is going to be enough for this pan, I think. I got these a little bit crowded. I should not. Don't want it to be crowded. I got to grab a pot holder here because I got to check. I think I'm going to take the other pot holder. The last time these ones burned my finger. Just about there. See how nice and puffy? Beautifully puffy. But they still need that 5 minutes. At this very moment, I'm going to play one of our songs that we recorded when we were in, it's a fun song, when we were in Okotoks. It's called the Winds of Change album. It's the Winds of Change album. It's here, and it's called Friday Night Blues. It ain't blues at all. It's kind of the rockabilly in me, and I just want people to hear it. And when you're putting things like this together, you're thinking, oh yeah, well, we're going to go out and we're going to enjoy each other's company. And so, yeah. I'm going to have you listen to that while I'm just finishing this up. Put on that old leather jacket and shine up your dancing shoes. I'll wear my bebop skirt, dig out a pair of bobby socks too. I got a sure cure remedy for chasing the Friday night blues. Put on a chase the Friday night blues. We can bop till we drop, then cut out Elvis's groove. It's not that long ago, let's do like we used to do. I know you work real hard, you're tired and a little bit blue. We don't have to leave the house and there's more good news. It won't cost a penny and the kids are at grandma's too. Let's rock and roll till we chase the Friday night blues. We can pop till we drop, then cut out Elvis's groove. It's not that long ago, let's do like we used to do. Let's rock, 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 rock to little sister. Rock, 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 rock to we blisters. Rock, 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 dig out old pictures. Rock till we drop. Reminisce and remembering when we chase the Friday night blues. Let's rock and roll till we chase the Friday night blues. We can bop till we drop, then cut out Elvis's groove. It's not that long ago, let's do like we used to do. It's not that long ago, let's do like we used to do. Aha! They're ready. Your remedy for chasing the Friday night blues. Aren't they gorgeous? I love these. I can't wait to get my... They will come down a little bit, but they're supposed to, and they're going to be really crispy and crunchy. Okay, I'm going to make us some salmon-filled phyllo pastry. And you make different shapes because it's more fun, right? Again, you paint up the phyllo pastry with the melted butter. Alabama sun. Apparently there's going to be about 160 people there tonight. Oh well, that's not a big bunch. I did do a catering for the Canadian Tire grand opening, and I think I talked about that before, in Okotoks for 400 people, and that was everybody just eating free-for-all. That was a lot of appetizers. That's when I tortured my friend with the deviled egg mixtures. Oh my gosh. Wonder if she's ever eaten a deviled egg since. She had to make 300 of them. 300 eggs, so 600 deviled eggs. That was crazy. So as you see, I'm just tainting away with the butter here, keeping the phyllo pastry covered. You gotta have enough butter. And what's nice about this is you freeze it, and I can take it out of the freezer like this and put it back in the freezer, and it'll be good for the next time. It's not an expensive thing to buy either. I think it's about $3 for a complete package. I have to redo the temperature, 375. First I gotta be started a little smarter than the stove. And I put the timer on again because they don't trust me. So I'm gonna put it on for about 17 minutes and see. That's better to be ahead of yourself and check. Okay, so this is the third layer, so I'm just doing some things around the edge for the moment, because I'm doing something a little different here. So I'm going to cut it in 4 this way, and I'm going to cut it in 3 this way, because I need to be just a little bit bigger. Now I need to put butter all around the edges. Now you remember I saved back a little bit of the onions and the garlic mixture, because I'm going to put that in too. And you want butter into the lemony salmon. And these are called beggar's bags. It's very cool. Okay, set that to the side, put my knife to the side. I'm going to put a little pinch. Now I'll be making a lot more than the ones I'm showing you here, because I've got a couple hours of appetizers to make, I'm guessing. I'm going to be careful how much you put in too, because if you put too much, if you overload these, they'll burst. It's not what it's about. It's not about it being a large portion, it's about being a bite size. So yeah, you better love what you're doing when you're doing this, because it is a bit time consuming, no doubt. And here's the salmon. Just put a square. You can use frozen salmon, you can use fresh salmon. We are in Canada, so I like having a little dill on this. So we do have salmon here, that's for sure. I was just in Hawaii. One of these days, in fact, one of my next shows, I'm going to make a complete Hawaiian meal. Tuna is so plentiful there, but salmon, not so much. So you eat what you can eat in whatever country you're in, is the way I see it. I'm going to put a little more dill in some of these. Nice. I'm going to put this back in the fridge, because I don't want fish sitting out when I'm not working with it. So back in the fridge with it. Now what you do with these is interesting. You bring them together, like you pinch them together like this and like this, and it becomes this little bag, like I said, beggar's bag. I gotta find another cookie sheet. So you just continually pull the tips together. Now you see this one, I didn't have very much butter on the edge. That's not good. It won't stick. So be careful that you've got the glue, which is butter, on it. And as it starts to bake, it just holds together. You also don't want it to be dry. Make sure that this stays covered with your damp cloth. That's just my oven coming to heat. Nothing's ready for me just yet. I'm going to show you how we fancy these up a little bit. First do this, just get them together. I was talking to the girls last night as I picked them up after the fireworks and everything. They're from all over Saskatchewan. They got a heck of a day today. They do everything from seminars and speeches to they're doing a thing called the Great Race. The new school here in Langenburg is, of course, something to show off. So that's very cool. I think it was the first time I was in the new school because, like I said, I don't have children or grandchildren in the school. So it was very awesome to see what we've built here. Very, very much community built and government assisted to a point. I think you all know what I mean by that. So we're going to have a nice pan here, like the first pan of the salmon baker's bags. Now, the other thing you can put inside these is really cool. You can cut up a fennel bulb, and saute that up, and you can have that in there too, but it has to be very fine, right? What else? You can make crab meat with cream cheese. And you can make these very same little baker's bags. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we're going to duty these up a bit. I'm going to be so lost when all my garden stuff is missing. I picked these this morning. They're leek. They're not leek, what am I saying? And you're going to cut them in half. They're a little bit too big. They're chives. You know they're chives, right? I'll just let you stew for a while. So you cut them so that they're a nice size. And we're going to just make a little bow tie on this. They're fairly tough. So they make a nice decoration. And then I take my scissor, actually, just cut them a little shorter. But they're easier to work with. Isn't that pretty? They're easier to work with when they're a little longer. Okay, now you just kind of snip them off again like that. Now, as soon as I've got this ready to go in the oven, I'm going to take a break from the phyllo pastry and get it put away and show you how you make the tzatziki sauce that goes with this. Very important condiment. And it's so easy. And you can use it for everything, not just for dip. You can put it on prepared chickens and everything you want. I just need to get this pan ready because it's the next one to go in the oven. You can squish them really tight like that. Listening to country music today. It's nice, it's fun. The thing I like about country music, I like all kinds of music. The thing I like about country music the best, I guess, is the stories. They're positive and they're upbeat, different from years ago when I was first starting in country. It was all lying, cheating, and drinking songs. I do believe that was, what was that called? What kind of country was that called? Outlaw country. The trouble is I was in the music business then, right? And as a girl singing country music, it was hard for me to sing those songs because I wasn't kind of lying, cheating, and drinking that much. You know what I mean? It's pretty funny when you think about that. People would yell at me. I remember that. Which wasn't a very pleasant song, but we played the Calgary, the Calgary Stampede. And there was a very popular song at the time called the Rodeo Song, which had a lot of cursing and swearing in it. And of course, when the cowboys got a little too drunk, they'd be yelling up at me, "Hey, don't you sing the rodeo song?" And I'm going, "No, it doesn't really suit me too well." But I remember saying to this one drunk cowboy, I said, "Listen, if you just have a couple more beers and stay out just a little bit later, I think your wife is going to cuss and swear at you all you want when you get home." Well, the poor bugger, he didn't know what to say or do, and he just left me alone. And I didn't have to sing the song. There's outlaw country. Pretty funny. And nowadays it's more family, I don't know, it's fun. More suitable for me, put it that way. Boy, I'm going to be done just in time. Now these, I'm not going to put cheese on. I'm just going to baste them with a little bit of butter. What have I got? 2 left? Yep. So far you can see that if I got to make 100 of these or 2, got to start mighty early. I find that because I do like country music, a lot of the things I do play and sing are more positive songs. There's enough negativity when you turn on the news. I try not to look at that before I go to bed, yikes. I know you need to know what's going on in the world, but see this? Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I got one more. I thought I was done. Better take a longer one. See how you can do it is you just wrap like this, put it around the neck of it, and then pull. This is way smarter. Okay. Just give it a little bit of butter. There, look at that. You know what you can do with this too that's really cool? Yeah. Again, doing your own thing. A little bit of sesame seed. Because you want these things to look nice, right? So I'm just showing you what you can do with phyllo pastry and how you can play around and just make it your own. You can put whatever fillings you want in. You can put whatever little toppings you might want on it. And enjoy what you're doing. Now I'm just going to clean up my mess for a minute, and I'm going to dig everything out to make some tzatziki dip. So we'll be right back. Well, we're rocking in here. I'm in the middle of starting out to make a tzatziki dip. You'll see in the bowl here, I've got very skinny, which is really funny, yogurt, you know, has no calories. But then I put sour cream in it. That messes it up, but that's what's gonna make it taste good. So I've got that mixture of half and half. And it's gonna be a nice beginning base. As I've always said, I like to have a little bit of lemon zest in a lot of things. As we speak too, I've got the little bit of salmon beggar's bags in the oven, so I'm just taking a peek. But I think it's good. And that's just the oven coming to heat. So, zesting into, this is my microphone, it's kind of messed up. I sometimes sing in there. So do my grandchildren. They're afflicted. All the things I've taught them, oh. So a little bit of lemon zest. Just, I would say, half a teaspoon. Very important. I'm going to be putting some lemon juice in too. But I like to zest first all the time. I'm going to need some cracked pepper. Not too much, but a nice. By the way, my pepper that I got in here now is red peppercorns. They're just awesome, plus the black. It looks pretty when you're presenting it or when you're putting it on somebody's plate as well. Now I'm going to cut this in half, and I was doing some chives with that, which I'm going to be doing more of. Get a little lemon juice going on here. I need a little bit of garlic. Of course, I need garlic. And then we're going to need about a tablespoon of that in there. Very important ingredient. Because it's sour cream and yogurt already, you're not going to get a curdling of any sort going on. Now, because these are garden cucumbers that I grew, I'm going to probably need to take the skin off because they'll be tough. If it wasn't, when you buy the English longs, you can use it with the skin on. But I'm going to take the skin off. I can't believe how beautiful the cucumbers are at this time of the year. I picked them all off because I knew frost was in the air. Good farm girl, you can smell that. Kind of looking at, it's going to freeze tonight. And my husband always laughs at me. Okay, so I take that all off of there. Now, I'm just going to get rid of my skins and my lemon over here. And you can do it with the fine grater. I'm going to try both and see which one comes out better. Yeah, fine grater is better. You only need about, for this batch that I'm making, about 1/2 cup. And I'm going to take away some of the seeds because I don't really want the seeds as much in there. So as you're looking at my board here, you're going to see that the seeds sort of fell off to the side here, so to speak. And I don't really want the seeds, so I'm taking them out. I'm going to throw those in there. It's a wonderful, fresh tasting dip. Just get rid of that. Now, of course, we need the garlic. And I'm going to need a little bit of dill and a little bit of chives. So this is the dill from my, you need quite a bit of dill actually. You're gonna need about 1/4 cup of it, like loose like this. And now, I'm gonna show off again. Because when you're chopping up, you go like that, you know. Because you want it to be a fine chop. You don't want people getting it out, picking it out of their teeth. There you go. Nice, fine chop. And it keeps my knife skills alive. I'm also going to need some of these chives. Don't worry, I haven't forgot the garlic yet. Just fine chives like that. I'm going to use some of that for garnishing the dish as well. So just like that. And I'm going to remove my last bit here. Give this a mix and do a quick garlic. You don't want to over garlic it. Well, I guess that's individual taste, right? I'm going to put a touch of salt in there too. And I'm going to make it a fine squish. Very important though that it's in there. Look at this. Just nothing fabulous, but so important to go with that dish. Now, for presentation reasons, what did I say? I want to put some salt in. I put it into a glass dish, like this. Move things down a bit. Beautiful. Nothing more to it, except a little garnish. Tastes fine. Well, I hope you're ready to, maybe you want to come for the party tonight. They wouldn't notice 1 or 2 more people arrived. It's very tasty. Needs that lemon, that's for sure. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little of those on there, the chives. Looks nice. You also need to have something growing out of there. Presentation is called. Always 3. But I'm gonna cut them off because they're just a little bit too long. But it looks good. Okay, now I'm just gonna dig a plate out. And I'm gonna check on my, oh, the beggar's bags they need 1 minute yet. And I'm just gonna snip off the ends of these chives because you want them to look nice. I don't want them to be too long. So an easy way to present your plate is to just simply put wedges all the way around like this. And that they're not perfect is okay. That imperfection shows that you made them. They aren't something out of the store. Hard to even find in a store. Now I will present these on a bigger platter tonight, so that, because it's a big bowl, right, for this platter. So that's that. And then I'll take another plate, a small plate. And I want to say thanks to everybody for coming out and hanging with me and learning all about working with phyllo pastry and letting me do a little bit of Mediterranean cooking. Let me just get in here and see how my little salmon, see this? It's beautiful. But you know what? They need a couple more minutes, so I'm just going to leave them in there. I don't want to take them out too soon. I'm not going to put them on the plate. What I'm going to do instead is just to take a couple of these and put them as a side plate. Because you just pile them in any way that you want to make it fun. Because they're going to disappear. You have no idea how crazy fast that all disappears. You can garnish that up with a wedge of lemon if you want, and I probably will do that. Just looks nice. A little bit of dill on it, that's good. Thanks for coming out, spending time with me again in Sammy's Cottage Kitchen. Can't wait till we can do this again. I always say enjoy it. If you're having fun, this is fun. But you just needed to know how to work with the phyllo pastry. Remember, keep it covered when you're not working with it. Right now I've just rolled it up in the damp towel and I put it in the fridge. And later when I'm cleaning everything up, I will put it back in the freezer. Love the life you live the life you love, and keep on keeping on. Till next time.